Today on The Spot, we've got all kinds of summertime boredom killers with This Week on Xbox Live, daily demos for Shank and Two Worlds 2, and welcome Chris Waters back to the big chair. Today on The Spot.
Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday, July 8th episode of Today on The Spot. Chris Waters here, I'm your host, joined by Sean McInnes, over in the chair right here. Sean, welcome.
It's nice to have you back, Chris. It's been a while since you've sat in that particular seat.
That's accurate. It's been a busy month for me. Aside from E3, there have been other large life events.
Right.
Such as me getting married.
Such as you getting married?
And going on a honeymoon.
Going on a honeymoon?
Yes.
And then you hunted buffalo for a couple weeks?
Bison.
You
it was
hunted
a bison hunt.
Okay,
yep.
It was bison hunt. Different. Okay.
And then I'm a little bummed because I just got knocked out of the World Cup.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, you were playing as the Chris Waters team.
Yeah, which made it to the quarterfinals. Best performance ever. But no, I will not be in the World Cup finals. That honor goes to Netherlands and that other country. What did they win today?
Spain?
España.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've been having a little case of World Cup fever around the office. Hope you folks have been enjoying it as well. But it's July. There are video games to be checked out, and we've got them here on the show. We got Two Worlds 2, we got Shank, and we got a whole bunch of other good stuff for you coming up right after this look at the latest headlines.
Hello everyone, this is your GameSpot news update for Thursday, July 9th. I'm Tom Magrino, filling in for Tor Thorson. Today, Electronic Arts and BioWare formally announced Dragon Age 2. That feeling of less than shock you are probably experiencing right now might have something to do with the fact that EA has been pointing to this announcement for months, going so far as to strongly suggest a February 1st release date for the follow-up to BioWare's Dark Fantasy RPG. Indeed, ever since EA tacked the quote Origins subtitle onto the original Dragon Age, alright, you get the point. Details, those are new. BioWare offered a few such today, saying Dragon Age 2 will extend over a 10-year period in which gamers will play out a Pauper-to-Print story as Blight survivor Hawk, laying down the tale of how the champion of Kirkwall rose from gutter snipe to badass with a broadsword, or wand, or what have you. The game is currently slated to arrive in March 2011 for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. In other news, Hideo Kojima might be working on Metal Gear Solid 5, or a brand new game, or Zone of the Enders 3, or polishing off an octopus salad. It's all very confusing. In an interview with Famitsu publisher Interbrain, the famed Metal Gear creator said details on his next project have been largely firmed up, though, quote, recently it has wavered a bit. Whatever it is, he said it should be done before 2012. Blizzard will be zapping internet anonymity from its message boards. Accountability on the internet? Weird. The move comes as part of World of Warcraft makers' introduction of the Real ID system, which offers a range of social networking features to Battle.net users. And of course, when you've got a player base in the tens of millions, that vocal minority can be quite large and, vocal. Nearly 40,000 messages for and against the move have been posted to a nearly 2,000-page thread on the developer's message board. That's as of press time, kids. Expect this one to consume all of the internet. Probably. Alright everyone, that does it for today. For more on these stories and other news headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
Alright folks, next up, see if you can spot the similarities between our news team and Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate, in This Week on Xbox Live.
This week on Xbox Live, Arcade kicks off with Blacklight Tango Down. Experience the bleeding edge of advanced warfare while fighting tomorrow's conflicts in the gritty Blacklight universe. Make your stand across 7 game modes with 12 different maps supporting up to 16 players in head-to-head combat, or take on 4 intense Black Ops missions with your friends. Customize your weapons and become a deadly future soldier. Ready for some lighthearted fun? Check out Monkey Island 2 Special Edition LeChuck's Revenge. Guybrush is at it again with more pirates, more adventure, and more monkeys. Relive the second hilarious swashbuckling misadventure while searching for the lost treasure of Big Whoop. Court the beautiful Elaine Marley and take on evil zombie pirate LeChuck. Interact with the world of Monkey Island like never before with the new direct character controls, an interactive object highlight system, behind-the-scenes art viewer, and creator commentary featuring the original developers of Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge. In Games on Demand, get your gloves ready for Fight Night Round 4. Step into the ring with the likes of Foreman, De La Hoya, Tyson, and Ali. Face off against contemporary and classic boxers, or set up a match for the ages. Study the sweet science of boxing and drop your opponent to the floor before they drop you. Don't forget, jab, cross, uppercut. Next, grab your snow machine and Ski-Doo Challenge. Rip across frozen courses in this authentic snowcross experience. Get your mittens on officially licensed Ski-Doo snowmobiles. Take on races, hill climbs, and stunt challenges. In indie games, fulfill your musical craving with My Band. Create a band and compose music with a controller or any instrument compatible with the Xbox 360. Guitars, harps, fiddles, drums, it's all there for your debut. Next, stop the woodcutter. Help all the animals of the forest to save their home from the woodcutter's greed in this tower defense game. Swell your ranks with squirrels, porcupines, bees, and skunks. With your help, animals can keep on living the good life. In Avatar Shatter, join your friends in a co-op arcade adventure. Blast through waves of enemies across several worlds in a bid for survival. Shatter geometric shapes, collect power-ups, and attain glory. When you're done abusing your avatar, take them for a joyride in Avatar Fly. Master the sky by competing in challenging courses. Demonstrate your aerial skills by flying through rings, and if you're good enough, reach the Avatar Hall of Fame. Last in indie games, the American Hot Dog Race brings up the rear. Compete in a hot dog eating competition like the professionals and celebrate America's 234th birthday. Mash buttons to eat hot dogs. This one's for you, America. Spice up your gaming this week with downloadable content. Mass Effect 2 releases the Thrilling Ages Pack. Dragon Age Origins brings Liliana's Song. Record of Agarest War brings the Amateur Breeder Pack, Seasoned Breeder Pack, Top Breeder Pack, Elegant Holiday Pack, and Carrot and Stick Pack. Worms 2 Armageddon brings the Battle Pack. Rock Band releases the Creedence Clearwater Revival Pack 1. Guitar Hero 5 fires back with the Queen Track Pack. Skate 3 continues with Danny's Hawaiian Dream. And MotoGP 0910 has the free GP Class Season 2010 update. That's all the time we have, folks. Come back next week for more This Week on Xbox Live.
So that's your look at what's coming to Xbox Live this week, but it is summertime right now, and traditionally over the past few years, that's meant a lot of big downloadable games coming out on Xbox Live. One of the big ones coming up here is a game called Shank. Chris, are you familiar with this one?
'Tis the season for downloadable games and apparently games that involve stabbing people, right? Shank involves that. It's like two-dimensional side-scrolling platformer, stylish graphics that kind of gory.
Kind of gory, a lot of stabbing, you're right, and also I think a lot of other types of killing. Let's see what else is involved in Shank with a look at this demo right now.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our daily demo. I'm joined by Alex Scheller from EA. Hey, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
You were just here for Deathspank, but now you're
I know,
here.
yeah, it's crazy. We got a lot of great games coming out, so.
Yeah, so now you're here to show Shank, a game that we have seen before, but you guys are showing us a new level.
Yeah, you bet. We're going to show you a brand new level. We're going to show you a new weapon, which is a shotgun, and a boss battle as well.
Okay, cool. Well, let's jump in here and see.
And just as a quick recap for people that might not have seen it before, Shank is a game coming out late this summer. It's by Clay Entertainment. They're an indie studio based out of Vancouver. And it is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's got a big revenge story. You are Shank, and you're out to get revenge against people that did you wrong. And as you can see, lots of combo gameplay going on here. You've got a few primary weapons. Yeah, you got a chainsaw. You've got two pistols. I just picked up a shotgun a second ago. And I've also got shanks, and all those are mapped to the face buttons, so you can kind of get in and out and do easy combos.
Oh, there's like a bottle of healing item now?
Yeah, exactly. You drink a bottle of alcohol to heal.
Nice.
which
beer.
Yeah, I think that's what I do on the weekend anyway, so it makes a lot of sense. So you can see, like with the shotgun, there are combos that new combos that the shotgun introduces. I think before we talked about this, each weapon kind of has its own moveset attached to it. So you can see I can pounce on a guy, I can
blow his brains out.
Yeah, double shot him while he's on the ground, but I can also work it into the combos as well, and that allows me faster access to the shotgun.
Okay, cool. A little recharge there.
Yeah, I'm bored how that. Like I said, you can see I'm being surrounded by guys. This area is pretty interesting. There's a couple of environmental things that you can do here because you've got these propane tanks. You can see I jumped down and shot those, and that helped take out the guys, stun them a little bit so that I could rip into them a little easier.
How far into the game is this?
This is only a couple levels in.
Oh, okay. Still pretty early.
Yeah, and the big difference between this level and the levels we've shown before is, it's on a train, and you've got this whole moving dynamic. You've got, dust elemental effects, and it's got a different color palette. It's just a different experience.
It looks great.
Yeah, definitely. The team at Clay, Jeff Ogala does their art design. He's got a great team, and it looks like a cartoon. The animation is pretty amazing, so we're pretty excited about it.
And there's like cutscenes in between to kind of tell the story.
There are, yeah, definitely. There's a big revenge story that's kind of been woven in, which you'll find more about soon. And those are done with these fully animated cutscenes. And the cool thing about the cutscenes is that they match the art style.
Yeah.
So while they might be more close up or a little more cinematic in terms of like camera angle and stuff, it's not like a gigantic shift in art. So the game looks just as good as the cutscenes do.
Yeah, it's all very fluid and smooth. So what other weapons can we expect to see?
I think you're gonna have to wait to find out about some of those other weapons.
Is there a lot?
There are quite a few. Yeah.
How many levels? Can you talk about that? Is it going to be a pretty long game? Downloadable?
It's pretty good in length. The team's still kind of working down on the level length. For instance, what you're seeing here, this isn't a full level.
Okay.
This is actually kind of an abbreviation of the level. So levels are a lot longer than this. And the game's going to be a pretty long and satisfying game. The big thing for us is making sure that you get all the revenge out of you that you can, and that you're happy with it.
Oh, so was this level created specifically for the E3 demo then?
So this is actually a chunk out of a much larger level that's in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is the level that we were showing off at E3, and we kind of abbreviated a little bit so that it was easier for people to kind of hop in and hop out. To learn the moves, because there are a lot of moves and there are a lot of combos, and once you start figuring them out, it really opens up a lot of options for you.
And single player only, correct?
I think it's something you're gonna have to wait to find out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, exactly. so here we've got a boss battle going on. You can see that we're fighting against these smaller troops, all that have different weapons. You've got one that's got grenades. You had one that had a butcher knife, and one that was just kind of shooting you with his gun and doing melee attack. Meanwhile, you've also got this Jeep who's been offloading grenades onto the train and homing missiles as well. So
this is why we filmed this earlier.
yeah, exactly. You really got to time your jumps, especially when you're using the grenades, to make sure that you're throwing at the right distance. There are a lot of different ways that you can go about attacking this boss. You can try shooting them with your guns, which is slightly slower. You can use your grenades from a lower platform. You can wing your grenades out further.
Yeah.
But it's really about managing the enemies that are on the train, the projectiles coming from the Jeep, and then attacking the Jeep as well.
And there's also like raining missiles, which is, oh wait.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. Cool. And you've got a couple of ways to dodge a lot of these things. You have the ability to block. You have the ability to do a time counter against the smaller enemies.
Okay.
And you can also roll around. So like you can somersault out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can also do like a dashing dodge. If you hold down block and press aside. So you might see me do that a little bit, especially around the missiles, just because I tend to stand exactly where the missiles are coming every time.
Yes, you've noticed.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So when is the game coming out and on what platforms?
So Shank will be out on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and PC, and it's coming out in the late summer.
All right, cool. Well, thanks to you so much for dropping by and showing us the game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for taking a good look at it.
Okay, and that was our demo of Shank. Now on with the rest of the show.
Well, I hope you folks got your fill of Shanktacular action in that demo. Up next, it's the second of 2 daily demos. Sean McGinnis, tell us what it is.
Two Worlds 2,
Two Worlds 2 it is. It's a sequel to Two Worlds. Folks, if you are in the mood for some open world, horseback riding, action, adventure, fantasy world type action, Two Worlds 2's got you covered. Let's check out the demo.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's daily demo. Today we have our friend Jake here from Topware. Jake, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what'd you bring?
I got Two Worlds 2 for you today. We're showing it on the Xbox 360 for you.
Okay, great. So Two Worlds 2 is obviously the sequel to the first Two Worlds.
Correct, it is. The 2007 open world RPG. It was released spring of that year, and we're back this fall with the second iteration in the series.
Right, so Two Worlds 2 is kind of it's like a hybrid third-person action RPG type game, right?
Yeah, it's very, very similar to the first one in a lot of respects as far as the layout and everything like that, as far as the player orientation and everything. But we've done a lot, which we'll talk about as far as improving on a lot of the concepts and mechanics from the first game. And Two Worlds 2 is kind of a story of redemption for us at Topware as well as Reality Pump's Polish developer. So.
Okay. Awesome. So I guess we have the game running here. And what are we looking at here, Jake? Tell us what we're seeing.
Right here, we're looking at the hero from the first game. Same hero. We're running through one of the mine scenarios. It's called the glow mines. Some of the things bring your attention to is that we've been able to do with the new engine that we've developed for the game, the proprietary Grace engine. There's been a lot of focus on lighting and texturing and things like that, and just making a really immersive and engaging world that feels really alive and full of stuff. So as we kind of move through the mines here, and we'll take a look at some of the monsters and introduce some of the melee combat mechanics and show some of the different weaponry and stuff like that, and as well as touch on some of the other stuff as we go along as far as the magic systems.
Right, so Jake, you mentioned there's magic, there's melee, I guess there's like range combat as well with bows and arrows. Like, how does that work? Is there like a predefined class profession system, or is it like open-ended skills? How does that work?
We really want to design it as a classless system, so it isn't something that players necessarily prescribe to from the outset, so it's not like you create your character physically and then pick, I'm going to be a warrior for the next 25 hours or a ranger or whatever. So the way that we've really designed it is, as with each level, you're granted parameter points and skill points. And parameter points are geared towards actual statistics, endurance, strength, willpower, things along that nature that you come to expect. Then the skill points are allocated based on kind of these little subgroups that we have, whether that be melee-oriented skills, magic-oriented skills, range-oriented skills, or even trade skills, general skills as far as defensive characteristics, things like that. So it allows players to really kind of mix and mash how they want to develop their character, what they want to specialize in, and things like that, and create kind of a master of all, or Joker of none, jack of all trades kind of thing.
Right. So it looks like we're playing a melee character who has just been really cutting down some guys here. So how does the melee system work for us, Jack?
So there's a couple things that we did do as far as, we talked about the fact that it is open-ended as far as being able to kind of take advantage of those different roles and mechanics. We designed a system where the D-pad actually controls up to 3 different armor sets that allows you to quickly switch between those various kind of predetermined sets of armor that kind of augment what you're doing at that point in time, whether that be shooting a bow or casting magic or whatever it be it. But also we did a lot in terms of trying to incorporate some diversity into the melee system. So not just saying, I have a sword, so sword's just like axe, which is just like mace, and stuff like that. But to give each one a different attacks, and different kind of scenarios in which they're the best weapon to choose. So being able to switch between the, introducing a mechanic to allow you to switch between those, and encouraging players to switch between those on a pretty regular and consistent basis, depending on the enemies that they're fighting and things along that nature.
Right. Okay, cool. So we got a character who's using, looks like a giant pull-on type weapon there.
Big sharp stick.
So there's, you can have a guy with a weapon and a torch, or a guy with a weapon and a shield. Like, how does melee combat work when you're using, say, a two-handed weapon versus a shield, or dual wielding? Like, what are the differences there?
So, like I mentioned before, it's different. So I can take, a two-handed weapon, which is obviously heavier and does bigger swing damage and stuff like that. I can take two one-handed, which has like a quicker attack. I can equip a shield, which increases my defense, and it is positional. So you have to kind of use the front of your body as a defensive mechanism, as opposed to just saying it buffs my defensive statistic. And then there's certain things you can use, like a torch that you saw earlier. You can actually pull out a one-handed weapon and use it alongside the torch. Use the torch to burn the face of your enemy and temporarily blind them or stun them or something like that, and then come in with a sword. So trying to mix it up and make it situational and stuff like that was really one of our goals with the melee mechanics.
But melee is only kind of one of the paths that you can specialize your character.
Yeah, it's really only one of the paths. If we want to take a look at the magic system.
So it's like you combine different elements to each other. There some will be key to like fire, and others will be key to like reflecting off of things or bouncing off of things. How detailed, how crazy can you get with some of this stuff?
Well, as far as the modifier, with having all these different kind of dimensions and how all these different roles that you play, you basically have Ace 2 cards, your kind of spell activity cards, so that be missile or area effect or whatever, the nature of the spell, and then the kind of element of the spell, wind, fire, water, whatever be it. And then based on kind of the combination of those spells, you have the modifier cards. So I could take a multiplier card and apply it to a missile-based, a projectile-based spell, and it'll go from 1 to 3. And then if the modifier cards are stackable, so I could stack a second one on there and it goes from 3 to 5, and it goes up through 9. And then you start stacking on area effects in the second tier and stuff like that. It gets really crazy.
It looks like that's about all the time we have. So if you could remind us when the game is coming out and for what platforms?
October 5th this year, and it's coming out for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Okay, great, Jake. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching.
There you have it. That's your look at Two Worlds 2. And Chris, that just about does it for today's episode of the show. But before we leave, I want to throw some good news your guys' way. Remember on Tuesday when we gave away one of those brand new Xbox 360s?
Yes,
well,
I do.
We're giving away another one on the Saturday episode of the show. Same as last time. If you're up to the trivia challenge, you've got a shot at winning a brand new Xbox 360. So make sure to come back again on Saturday.
So what more could you ask for? A chance to win yourself a new Xbox 360. Tune in on Saturday. Join us for more video game goodness and the chance at that sweet prize. For everyone here in the GameSpot studio, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Sean McInnes.
Y'all have a great week now.